It's a big privilege and honor to be here with all of you and to share this the inauguration of the Sports Intelligence Hub. And as we've heard from Kaushik, how mcube is already redefining how we experience, how we understand, and how we predict actually the outcomes in the world of sports. So really from broadcasting to live analytics. So how do we want to predict better? So we want to complement the traditional sports diagnostics also with the brain data, because the brain is really at the center of decision making. And I would like to share our vision today, how we complement traditional sports diagnostics also with neuroscience and brain-based metrics. And with that, we have here the business challenge, maximizing team value through data. So in modern sports, data is no longer optional, it's foundational. Building competitive teams means really treating every decision as a strategic investment. The objective is, in today's game, player acquisition is an investment. And we want to support these decisions by data so that we can identify undervalued or overlooked talent and to recognize performance. Traditional data dimensions is that you combine past performance and physiological data, tactical needs, budget alignment, and also this all in one kind of decision model. Move? Okay, here. And modern sports intelligence is shifting from traditional diagnostics, shown here, to really predictive. Here, predictive analytics. Maybe I moved that. And we can really forecast fatigue, injury risk, or performance. We can check real-time tactical insights and also mental speed and decision-making diagnostics. And some examples here from the sports intelligent examples are here which are leveraging this kind of data. So we start from basketball, where you can optimize shot selection, until also tennis, where we can track opponent patterns. Also the success story from the TSG Hoffenheim, where Jan will talk about later, that more than 23% of the young academy players go to the professional team. And this is all about standard tactics and physical parameters, but adding now the brain data adds a missing dimension to the whole picture. So we have the aim to add also mental and cognitive capacity data in order to benchmark the talents versus the professional portfolio at the organ level. And this provides us really next generation predictive power for future performance. And here, that's the goal of our project. So that's the goal of Brain2Kick project. It will introduce MRI, so image-based fingerprints, to really improve all the performance tracking. So we want to provide a better insight in player performance, to identify emerging talents, but also to prevent injury and really to be better prepared. And this is all about really bringing neuroscience into the heart of. Okay, so it's really bringing sports into the heart of sports strategy. And here, it's all about to understand the brain structure. And here it says gray matter thinks, white matter connects. So in the middle column, you see that gray matter is responsible for information processing, whereas the white matter is important for signal transmission or to optimize connection, communication between different brain areas. And this is really the core of connectivity, the Connectome. So it's really where athletics foundational neural network needs to work, because that's where really you make decisions, endurance, and you can improve that if you better understand the connectome. So let's move to the connectome, and with a tool which is based, or a solution which is based on mcube NICARA, which stands for Neuro-Imaging Connectome Analysis in Research and Application, we can really transform imaging to the feature space. What you see at the left is really you have the different nodes here colored. These are the brain regions which are connected with fibers. And then these are, on the right-hand side, transformed to connections and features here. And these really different colors can identify either different directions or different strengths, and the nodes are really the brain regions which communicate with each other. So the connectome is somehow a comprehensive map of neurological connections within the brain. In the next slide, we see how the connectome really works, and how with NICARA we can automatically analyze this connectome. Let's go for the example of the lights and the wires in a house. So here we have again an MRI image, which has displayed here the different brain regions in colors. And here we have also light bulbs. So these are brain regions. If the light is on, it means that the brain region is active. If the light bulb is off, it means that it's not active, or even it might be damaged or injured. And now the wires between the different bulbs are the structural connectivity, which are represented here by the white matter. And we have these connectivity, which can be either represented here by a thick edge or by a thin edge. So thick edge means that you have high connectivity, a strong connectivity between two brain regions. If you have a thin line, it means it's either a weak one, or it could also be damaged, like an injury by a stroke. Then we also have different color coding, which can be superimposed to add really another dimension. And this is also electricity, so it adds this functional connectivity to the system. And then we have a last property, that the bulb, even if the connection, the wires are there and electricity is flowing, the bulb still might not light up because it's faulty, it's broken. So it's really also the NICARA also can measure the volume of the data of the brain region and also the surface. So it's really the morphometry. So with NICARA, this mcube-based solution, we can measure 3 different types of, really we can go beyond. Really we can do this multimodal messaging, imaging, which allows us to put everything in one system. Here with this really complicated slide, but you just need to focus that the first 3 or 4 steps are all managed by NICARA, and with these imaging automatically done, we can also apply AI, which then generates these brain fingerprints, which are then measured as or taken as a pattern, and the fingerprint for taking talent out of the professionals. Here we have seen the NICARA fingerprints, which add more valued talents to the squad. On the left hand, we have the circles, which represent the players. At the top, we have the high-performance players. At the lower level, we have the low-performance players. And within this quadrant on the right, we can see how the connectome can add an additional layer and really identify much faster and also find undervalued talents or undervalued, which we can put then to the top talent and really facilitate decision making. So this is really if you scan consequently within a certain time range, you really can use these fingerprints or brain pattern, activity patterns to add more valued talents to the squad. It really helps not only to manage the players, but also to coach them and improve them. And this is how the Brain2Kick project is planned. So to do a longitudinal brain data analysis, you start with a professional cohort with about 50 high-performing professional players, which you then get the landmark, and then the talent cohort, which would be the young players. You take consecutive scans and compare them to the benchmark of the professionals. And over time, you also train AI models in order to generate these brain finger tips. And this is then all integrated in one platform, mcube, where we can integrate the physical data, the psychological data, but also the brain data all in one big platform. And you really have it all organized in one place. And this is how we can support, really boost performance prediction by combining brain data with physical and health metrics. And we can also add cognitive profiling to identify smarter talents and develop the young football players. And in the end, we also can optimize team composition using neuroscience and by aligning mental and physical player characteristics. With that, I would like to thank you.